Act 1, Scene 2 in 5 minutes. Another scene that doesn't have Macbeth at the beginning, but a scene whose purpose really is to introduce to us Macbeth. We meet Duncan the King. We see that he is actually quite pleasant to the people around him. But we're introduced to the situation of the war at this moment in time, and mostly through the captain here. He uses this image of two swimmers that are exhausted, cling together, and therefore can't do anything more. Stalemate, if you like. But what he really wants to tell us about is the merciless MacDonald. Alliteration, epithet. Again, an introduction here to a rebel who is acting against them. Now, the reason we need to know about him is for two reasons. One, that he has fortune on his side, okay, that seems to be like a rebel's whore, like it's his own mistress, okay. So basically, it's almost like destiny is against them on the side of the rebels. But the main real thing is the idea that Macbeth can be shown in opposition. The merciless MacDonald, the brave Macbeth. Okay, the epithets are used to show the difference between the two of them, both followed by brackets, of course, going on there. And how he disdains fortune, he works against it. So we have that contrast between Macbeth and MacDonald. To see the difference in heroism and how they fight against what they've got. Now, that's emphasised by Macbeth being described as Valor's minion, working for Valor himself. Something that's going to be echoed a little bit later by another character, Ross, describing him as Bellona's bridegroom, Bellona being the Roman goddess of war. So essentially, he is both times described as almost kind of supernatural in what he can do, allied with the gods, allied with Valor itself. But we do have other images here of his violence. His brandished steel smoked with bloody execution. He carved out his passage till he faced the slave. He unseamed him from the nave to the chops. What we might see as unnecessary and certainly extreme violence from him. When he meets MacDonald, he doesn't just kill him, he rips him apart and tortures him before he dies. However, Duncan is very, very appreciative of Macbeth, very appreciative of the captain, as we see down the bottom here. So basically, what we see is that Duncan, as a king, is somebody who treats his subjects well, talks about the honour of this captain, who is of no importance to him, but therefore is someone he could actually ignore, but he doesn't feel that way. Ross comes in, tells us more about Macbeth's victory, but also tells us about that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor. Okay, again, another image like MacDonald of rebellion and treachery against a king. Duncan, who we've seen so well here, so effective here, in terms of being pleasant to his subjects, shows he has a brutal side, immediately announcing his death and passing it on, his title on to Macbeth as a reward. So what we have throughout this is we have a picture of Macbeth, a picture of him as somebody who is incredibly brave. He's like the greatest soldier of all time, working against fortune, Valor's minion, Bellona's bridegroom. But we might also notice the level of violence, smoking bloody execution, carving out his passage, unseaming him from the nave to the chaps. A complex picture of the man. Yet images of treachery are introduced, and we get a sense of Duncan as being a fair, nice, loved king, but also one who can be decisive when need be. Yet the last line goes with Duncan here. Fair enough. What the Thane of Cawdor has lost, noble Macbeth hath won. That paradox again. But isn't he echoing the witches? Are the witches having some kind of effect here on Duncan's decision?